Hey, what's up guys, how's it going? In today's video, I will explain everything that you need to know about static site generation. Now, I'm creating a video series I will call Friday Explainers. So on every Friday, I will explain some concept. If you want me to explain some concept or any kind of technology, please let me know on the comment section. I would love to hear from you. Now for today, I've already created a blog post on my website QScoding.space. I'll put the link on the description. You can use this for your future reference. So today we are going to learn what is static site generation and how it works. So first of all, what does static means? Static means things that doesn't change. A static website's content doesn't change that much. For example, if you have a blog, then your blog content doesn't change much. A writer doesn't change his blog that much, so the website content doesn't change that often. That's why it will be a static site. If the content changes, then it will be called a dynamic site. For example, like a social media or a chat application. Now, let's understand what does static site generation actually means. But before that, we have to understand how our web actually works. So I have created a simple image to explain how server-side rendering works. This is not the whole picture. I have tried to make things as simple as possible. So we have two entities on the web. We have a client and we have a server. The client sends a request for an HTML page. For example, in this case, blog.html. Then the server creates that HTML page, but the HTML page might need some additional data from outside sources, for example, like a database. So the server fetches the data from the database. After fetching the data, the server put those fetched data in the blog.html file. After the HTML file is completely ready, the server sends a response with the blog.html file to the client. So that's how this request response cycle works, and also our web. So this is what we call server-side rendering. If you want to learn more about server-side rendering, I have a video about it on my channel. You can check that out. And also I have a client-side rendering video. You can check them out. I'll put the link on the description. So what is the problem with this approach? Well, server-side rendering can be slow. You can see that after getting the request, the server has to do a lot of processing. And to finish this process, server needs some time, and that can make our website slow. And also to do this additional task, the server might get heavy load if there are too many requests. So you can see the server-side rendering can be slow, but it makes sense. But it doesn't make sense in one scenario. For example, we are creating this blog.html file and we are fetching the blog content from the database. But we know that blog content doesn't change much, so it will be totally unnecessary to fetch the same data again and again on every single request. And we know that fetching data might take some time and it can make our website slow. So what if we can skip this process on the request time? That will be pretty good, right? That means the server can send the HTML file in less time. So can we do that? Well, we can. We can do that with static site generation. So this is how our static site generation works at the build time, not on the request time. So when we deploy our website, we push the source code at the server. Then the server starts to build the HTML pages with our source code. At that time, our blog.html file needs some blog content data from the database. So the server fetches those blog data from the database and put it inside the HTML file. And then when the HTML file is totally ready, the server stores that. And on the request time, when the client asks for that blog.html file, the server quickly sends the HTML file as a response to the client. Because the HTML file is already built with the necessary data. We don't need to fetch any kind of data from a database or a third-party API. So the server skipped a lot of process. That means the server can send a response in less time. And that's why static web pages are really fast. So basically that's what static site generation is. So again, what is static site generation? Static site generation is a process of generating static web pages at the build time. And static sites are getting more and more popular. So how to use static site generation? Well, you can use front-end frameworks like Gatsby or Nextjs. Nextjs is the most popular framework for static site generation currently, but you can check this web page. This web page is from jamstack.org, and here you will see a list of static site generators. Okay, they are not only for JavaScript, there are other static site generators for other languages. Now, what are the pros of static site generation? Like I've told you, static sites are super fast and you don't need to implement any kind of backend system to create a static website. And also it is very SEO friendly because on the build time, the static site generator put all of the content, all of the necessary content in the blog.html file. So search engines like Google can easily crawl through your web pages. And also it is easy to scale because you don't have to handle any kind of backend system. And also you can host your static websites for free on platforms like GitHub Page, Netlify, or Vercel. Now, when to use static site generation? Well, static sites are really great when the content doesn't change. If your content changes often, then you shouldn't use static site generation. So static sites are not great for every single scenario. So that's what you really need to know about static site generation. And now that you have a basic understanding of static site generation, you might want to use this knowledge to build something. Well, I've got you. I have created an entire video series about how to create a static blogging website with React, Nextjs, and Markdown. This whole website is totally static. You can see the blog by clicking on this blog card. And all of the blog content is written in Markdown. And you can see we also have some embedded components like YouTube video, code pens. We have images. Then we have beautiful code blocks with syntax highlighting. We also have a dark mode and light mode feature. And also it has a mini search engine. If I click on the search icon and here on the input, if I type something, it gives me auto completion. So that's really awesome. So if you want to learn how to create a website like this, just follow the link on the description. So that's it for today's video. If the video has been helpful for you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. If you have any question, please drop them on the comment section. And again, if you want me to explain some concept or technology, please do let me know on the comment section. I would love to hear from you. And also you can follow me on LinkedIn, Twitter as Daranjan, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.